Hello, my name is Sarah Vieira, and today I'm going to be showing you how to navigate through the website called noredink.com. I think it's a great technology tool to use for teachers who are teaching grades 5 to 12, and it's a website that is geared towards making our students stronger writers. And there's a great section on grammar in particular, as well as writing skills. So at my school, we teach grammar separately, from spelling, reading, writing. And this past year, I had 10 new students who came to me with definitely many gaps in their learning in terms of grammar. So I think this website would be great to use to differentiate for each of my students based on their needs. So we're going to take a look at the website here. One thing that's great is when you log in. So you can log in under your Google account, or you can make another account. So once you're into the website, I have set up a new section for this coming September. And so once you've set up a class, it will show up here on the screen, and then you can add the students in from this button here. So you can add manually, or you could share the code with your students and invite them as well. So either one would work. And they would have the first name, last name as a section that you'd have to fill in here, class code they give you, and it tells you how to use class code. So you can have them join two ways. You can maybe, if you have laptops or iPads in your class, you can have everyone sign up together. That's probably what I would do. And then they could record the information so that they can use this at home. And then as a teacher, we can create a diagnostic. So you can use some pre-made grade 4 to 6th grade diagnostics, or you can make your own custom made. So let's take a look here what a pre-made one would look like. All right, and from this website, it allows us to record the start date, the due date, time, the assignment name, if you're going to allow late submissions or not. It tells you some of the curriculum that's going to be covered, and it tells you the test will take them about 40 to 60 minutes, 5 questions per pathway, and up here it tells you can edit. So picking as many concepts that you'd want to be tested, and showing you all the different types of concepts geared to your grade level. And so it keeps on going. And obviously you can see that certain ones have been checked off already. And you can pick the total number of questions will be 60. And then you can, done selecting, click there, and then you assign it. Obviously, in this case, it shows that not all the sections have been completed. So I'd pick the class that I want to assign it to. Here, I would have had how many students would be already in my class, and then I would assign it. And so the diagnostic could be done in class, or preferably so that you know that it's based on their own learning and not something that they do at home where they could get assistance from their family. And then this information will be given as maybe a starting guideline as to where the gaps are in their learning. So then you can assign specific concepts or teach in the class or review certain sections based on what they knew and what they still need to learn. Then you can create assignments. And from this site here, you can see you can make practice assignments, you can make quizzes, and now there's the quick writes now available as well. These are formal or informal writing exercises that can include opportunities for collaboration. So let's take a look at what a practice would look like. And the goal is for them to master the skill. You'll see here it tells you the different conventions. This would be for grammar. Each one has how many topics. So if we click here on adjectives, this one has the ones that are just here. These two are free and they show that they have access here. You can preview them, and then they have the actual full lessons here. Whereas the ones that have the letter P stands for premium, and that would be the one that you would need to pay extra for, and therefore they're locked and you don't have access to those. But let's take a look at the first one here. The lesson, they have information there. So this could be something that you put up on the screen, or students could have this in their own devices in front of them, and they can either record notes, or you could have these notes already provided for them to glue into their notebooks for reference. And then if you click here, you can preview the lessons. So they start off with a question, and you pick which adjective is describing which noun. So in this case, we will take a look here. If you need help, right, so in this case it's just showing me the preview, so it's not letting me actually click on it. But if I click here, I'm choosing to assign it, so I've assigned it. I can do right away, due date, time, to my class, assignment name, total points for assignment, allow submissions that are late or not, and I can assign it. So from this angle, let's just say adjectives. So now what I'm going to do is actually going to go back to the home screen, and I'm going to click on the button that says View No Red Ink as a Student. And you'll see here that now the student has the diagnosis that they need to complete within a certain amount of time frame, and they have their first practice points. So let's click on that there. So in order to master the topic, they need to show the full understanding of the topic, and so they can work through the certain amount of questions at their own speed. They can do this in class, they can do this at home, and here when we click begin, they have the practice. They can go over the lesson prior to going over the practice if they need to. So if they need repetition or the lesson reviewed, you'll see here that they take the student's name. In this case, because I'm viewing it as a student, they've taken my first name, last name, and they incorporate it in the question. So they personalize it a little bit, and so therefore the students become more engaged in the practice questions, which of the word rotten is describing which noun. In this case, we're going to click vegetables. We're going to submit our answer, and it tells you if you're correct or wrong. In this case, let's just say we picked coach. What would happen would be you'd see not quite. So again, they're not saying error or wrong. They're trying to let the students down gently that they're not quite there yet. They also have the option of picking show hint. So again, it goes back to the lesson to give them some review of the lesson of, the answer to which kind, which one, and how many is what adjectives are. And then we can close here. And if you want, we can take a look here where it says show answer. Teachers are only allowed to see this, and that will show us the correct answer. If there's any issues, you can report a problem. So, there are obviously sometimes errors, and so there's a chance for you to report it. Up at the top here, it says get 3 in a row to continue. So your aim is to try and get, continuous answers correct. Up here it tells you how many questions you've answered, and you can always exit at any point. So if you're in the middle of something, or you're asked to do 20 minutes of grammar homework or writing homework at home and practice, then you can work at your own speed, finish a certain amount of questions, and you can always come back to it at the end. So you'll see here that I've only completed 12% of that full topic, and I can go back in at any point and continue. The information at the end is then sent to the teacher, so the teacher has record of your progress and if you've been keeping up with your practice questions. Okay, let's just go back to the home screen. So I've shown how you can set up the diagnostic, how you can set up the practice, and of course there is also quizzes that you can come up with. We're going to return to the teacher homepage because I'm still viewing it from the student's viewpoint, and I'm going to just click on a quiz so you can take a look at the quiz. And again, you can pick from the different conventions. Let's click writing now. Let's take have an idea. There's conclusion paragraph, so let's click a conclusion paragraph. And pretty much under each concept, there's like at least one or two that are offered for free. And then, of course, at least 2 or 3 others that are offered for the premium accounts if you decide to invest, or your school decides to invest in this website. And there's obviously stuff on passages. And because this website is an American website, there's some information about SATs. And that information there if you need it. When you go back to the home screen, you'll also see that there is the show activity, so you can take a look at everything that you've set up, and you can manage your classes, adding more classes if you teach more than one class. You can archive the classes, so at the end of the year you can archive it so that each year you can set up new classes. And the last thing I wanted to show was the section on curriculum. So it goes over the fact that it is tied to or aligned to standards in different curriculum under writing concepts as well as grammar and conventions. And so you can click here and go by grade level. So there's K to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, and 10 to 12. And when I was navigating through the website, it did specify that this website's more geared towards grades 5 to 12. But it looks like they're expanding and definitely including some information from K to 4 as well. All right, so at least this gives you a bit of a initial view on this website, and there's a lot to navigate through. You can also share with others, and there's other latest features that are available. There's the help sections that are very useful, and one thing I really liked about the website is that it goes over their values, and their value is to build better writers, which I know from my experience, students really do struggle with writing, and this is a great interactive website that can be done in class or outside of class to fill in all those gaps in students' learning. And I know from talking to other teachers and other boards, some schools don't teach grammar separately, and so this might be one way that we can cater to our students' needs and help them become better in the language arts programs. All right, thank you for listening, and I hope you learned a thing or two, and have a great day. Take care.